So you live in Little Falls and you've got a dog. You know that having a well-behaved pup can make all the difference. But where do you even start when it comes to finding a trainer? It can feel a little overwhelming. Well, that's what we're going to break down today. Exactly how to find the perfect trainer for you and your dog right here in our community.
I want you to just imagine it for a second. You're walking your dog and there's no pulling, no lunging, or maybe you've got friends coming over and there's no frantic jumping at the door. Those moments of calm aren't some far-off dream, you know. They are totally achievable with the right training.
All right, first things first, why go local? Well, a trainer who actually knows Little Falls gets the unique stuff we deal with. They know what it's like to manage a dog near the traffic on Route 23, or how to practice good leash skills on those beautiful Passaic River trails. That local insight makes the training so much more relevant to your actual everyday life. Now, before you start searching, it really helps to get a handle on a couple of key ideas. If you know what you're looking for in terms of a trainer's methods and the different program types, you're going to make a much better choice for your dog. The foundation of pretty much all modern, effective dog training is something called positive reinforcement. It's really simple, actually. It's about rewarding your dog for doing the things you want them to do, instead of punishing them for what you don't. It's humane, it works, and honestly, it just makes your relationship with your dog that much stronger. So you've basically got two main options when it comes to the format. Group classes, they're awesome for getting your dog used to being around other dogs and people, and they're usually easier on the wallet. But if you're dealing with very specific things at home, like your dog going bonkers when the doorbell rings, you really can't beat private, one-on-one sessions. They're tailored just for you. Okay, so you know the what. Now let's talk about the who. Finding a truly qualified professional isn't just about a quick online search. It's about doing a little homework to make sure you're hiring someone who really knows their stuff and is committed to being humane.
You're going to see a bunch of letters like these after a trainer's name, and it can look like alphabet soup. But think of them as a sign of dedication. Credentials like CPDT-KA or KPA-CTP mean that trainer has actually passed some tough exams and has to keep up with their education. And if you see something like CBCCKA, that means they've got specialized knowledge for tougher issues like fear or aggression.
Here is your simple three-step game plan. First, just look for those credentials we talked about on their website. Second, see if they offer a consultation. It's a great way to just get a feel for them and see if you click. And third, have your questions ready to go before you talk to them. And here are the questions you'll want to ask. Definitely confirm they use positive methods. Ask them how they'll tailor things to your life here in Little Falls. And get clear on the practical stuff like costs, how you'll track progress, and what you need to do between sessions. No surprises later. Of course, a big piece of this puzzle is money. It's just a reality. So having a good idea of what training actually costs around Passaic County will help you figure out what's possible for you. So here's a rough look at what you can expect for 2025. You see, a set of group classes might run you a couple $100s, a package of private lessons, a bit more. And then you have things like board and train programs, which are a much bigger investment. This just helps you kind of match the service to your budget. All right, once you've hired a trainer and you get started, the real work begins. Taking those new skills and applying them in the real world, part of that means being a responsible owner, which includes knowing the local rules and the best spots to practice. Okay, these are the big ones you just have to know. In Little Falls, your dog must be on a leash in public spaces, and that means a standard 6-foot leash, not one of those long, retractable ones. You also need to get your dog licensed with the township, and for that, you'll need proof of a rabies vaccine. And just be a good neighbor. Excessive barking can become an issue, so that's something good training can really help with. So where can you go to work on all this stuff? Beasley Park is a perfect local spot with open fields to practice focus. If you need a bit more room to roam, Willowbrook Park in Wayne is right nearby. And for a real-world challenge, the trails up at Garrett Mountain are fantastic for teaching your dog to stay calm around all sorts of new sights and sounds. And here's a great little piece of wisdom, especially if you've recently adopted a dog. It's called the 3-3-3 rule. Basically, it gives you a realistic timeline. Expect about 3 days for your new dog to just decompress, 3 weeks to start learning your routines, and a full 3 months to really feel settled and at home. It's a reminder that good training respects their adjustment period. When you put in this work up front, it pays you back in so many ways. That quiet walk through the neighborhood, hiking the trails at Garrett Mountain, or just relaxing at home with friends, it all becomes so much simpler and more joyful when you have a confident dog by your side. We wish you the very best on your training journey.